Hello student, good morning. As here we are talking, in the previous video we are discussing about the key features of the Indian Constitution. So we have talked about the federalism as more than one level of government, decentralization of power, the division of power. We have talked as the power is being divided between state and central governments, as well as the third tier of the government, that is Panchayati Raj in our country. Second, they have given the parliamentary form of government. So this is the second key feature of the Indian Constitution, the parliamentary form of government. What they have given in this one, let's have a discussion over it. The different tiers of the government that you just read about the consist of the representatives who are elected by the people. As you all know that for the each tier of the government, whether that is central level, state level or local level, these all the representatives are elected by people. Okay, your class 7th book begin with the story of the Kanta who was standing in line to vote during an election. As you might have read the example in the class 7th about the Kanta who was standing in a queue, standing in a line for casting her vote during the election. Okay, downside you may check how the people are standing for just giving their vote in our country. Okay, so after this one, the Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage for all the citizens. Universal adult franchise. We have read this one word before it as well. So that means right to vote all the adult citizens of the country. In our country, 18 plus, that is 18 above the 18 years of the citizens, they are having the right to vote. Okay, this is known as universal adult suffrage. When they were making the constitution, when the constitution were being made by the members of the Constituent Assembly, so what happened? They felt that the freedom struggle helped prepare the masses for universal adult suffrage, and that this would help to encourage a democratic mindset and break the clutches of traditional caste, class, and gender hierarchies. Here, that has been shown that at the time when a Constituent Assembly was framing the constitution, they felt all the people, all the major mass of the country, major citizens of the country, major most of the people of the country, they have taken the participation for getting the freedom. Okay, they have done the struggle. So that is why they felt that they have to prepare the one kind of the constitution where everyone should get the right to vote, and that would help to increase the democratic mindset, and that is as well as break the clutches of traditional caste, as whatever the we are having, we follow that is caste system, class, and gender hierarchies, whatever the things is being gender distinction, whatever the things is being followed by us. So what will happen, it will also just break it out. Okay, so this means that people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. So as we all know that we are electing our representatives, we are casting our vote. So that is why that has been given, the people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. Also, every citizen of the country, irrespective his her social background, can also contest in election. Whether you are poor, rich, whatever your social background, whether you are any religion, so you can also just stand and you can also contest in election. These representatives are accountable to the people. Whoever the representatives are elected by we people, so these are responsible for the citizens. You will read more about why representation is crucial, why this representation is important to democratic functioning in Unit 2 of this book. So later on you will come to know about the parliamentary form of government and the work of the representatives which is being elected by we people. Okay, then third, they have shown the separation of power, how the power is separated from other organs of the government. Okay, here the third feature, according to the constitution there are three organs of the government, as I have already discussed in the previous years in the classes. So you might have observed this one thing, the organs of the government, that is the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. As I have already told to you, the legislature refers to our elected representatives. Okay, these legislative bodies which legislate, which make the laws for the countries. Okay, these are our elected representatives. The executives is a smaller group of the people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. The executive to execute the laws, to implement the laws. This is the main work, and it is the smaller group of people. They are responsible for implementing whatever the laws are made, with whatever the laws are proposed by the legislative, and these are also responsible for running the government. Okay, the judiciary, of which you will read more in unit 3 of this book, refers to the system of court in this country. As in the judiciary, the main work of the judiciary, more you will come to know in the upcoming chapters, but it refers the court system of courts in our country. In order to prevent the misuse of power by any one branch of the government, the constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different powers. Mean to say, if anybody is misusing the power and if anybody is violating the laws, so there is a role of the judiciary to maintain law and order in the country. Okay, so the same thing they have given here. So that is why the constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different powers. Through this, each organ acts as a check on other organ of the government, and this ensures the balance of power between all three. So these three organs of the government, they keep an eye on each other, so which makes a balance between among these three organs of the government. Okay, here something they have given in the box. The word state is often used in this chapter. This does not refer to the state government. Rather, when we use state, we are trying to distinguish it from government. That is, government is responsible for administering the enforcing laws. Mean to say, state here mean to say, which refers to the country. Nepali, that as they have given the example here, Indian state. Indian state means the whole country, which represents the whole country. And here one word they have given, the sovereign. Sovereign mean to say it is a one kind of power which is mainly in the hands of the people. Mean to say this is one kind of power. If the people wants, they can make the government, and they can also with this they can also will not support to the government. Okay, in Hindi mainly it's known as Samprabhuta or Prabhusatta. Mean to say this is a one kind of power which is rested in the citizens of the particular country. Okay, and after this one, fourth features of the this one Indian Constitution, the fundamental rights. Okay, in this one, what they have given, see, the section of fundamental rights has often been referred to as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. Colonial rule has created a certain suspicion of the state in the minds of the nationalists that they wanted to ensure that a set of written rights that would guard against the misuse of state power in independent India. As we were having at the time, whoever the leaders who frame our constitution, so they were very experienced about the colonial rule, about the British rule. That is why the members of the Constituent Assembly, they wanted to make sure that no one can misuse the power, and some rights, written rights, have been given to the Indian citizens, so no one can misuse the state power in independent India. Okay, the fundamental rights therefore protect citizens against the arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the state. That is why they have given here the fundamental rights. They protect the citizens of our country against the arbitrary rule, whatever the rules which is against of the people. So whatever the absolute exercise of power by the states. So if your rights have been taken and your rights have been violating by someone, you may directly approach to the court. Okay, the Constitution thus guarantees the rights of individual against the state as well as against other individuals. That is why the Constitution of India, it guarantees to all the citizens of the country, and that is against the state as well as against other individuals. Means it guarantees the rights of the citizens. So here at the left side, if you are checking it, the fundamental rights which have been given in the Indian Constitution. So later on you will also come to know more about these fundamental rights. Right to equality, there are 6 fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, and right to constitutional remedies. Okay, these are the rights which by these rights we can just secure ourselves and we can enjoy our all the rights. And downside, which fundamental rights will be following situation to violate. Mean to say here that has been given. So when these fundamental rights will be violated, so you may go to the court. Okay. Then the fifth, they have given the features of the Indian Constitution, that is secularism. Okay, that we will have a discussion in the next video.